Let's talk about nighttime mature skincare regimen, also known as aging skin. Why? What is that? We all have aging skin. Our skin is getting older. Of course it is. Everything is getting older, whether we're 2 years old or 20 or 99. I'm going to show you what my nighttime skincare regimen is. After washing your face and applying hydrosol, I like to put 2 masks on, one active and one nourishing. You don't need to do this every night. You can do it every other night or a couple of times a week, depending on how good you want your skin to look in 10 or 20 years. Applying a mask is the perfect time to practice the technique of the microsystem of the face, and if you've taken any of my Radiant Skin courses, you know a lot more about that. There are points on the face that actively support the organs and allow for illumination of your face. You radiate good health and happiness and joy and all that good stuff. But when I'm using acupressure on a point, I'm using different fingers depending on the pressure you want to put. We really want to be careful not to be pulling on our skin, making it unhappy, defeating the purpose. So a lot of people like to use the ring finger, which allows for pressure but maybe not so much pulling, and just whichever one feels most appropriate. Sometimes I'll do 2 points at the same time, and that just requires more fingers. You can also use the tips of fingers for tapping on the face. And don't forget the neck. Manual stimulation of the skin actually encourages cell turnover and increases circulation. First mask is after your hydrosol and of course on a clean face and before you've put on any kind of serum or moisturizer. Active masks that I like to use are alpha hydroxys, vitamin C's, or fruit enzymes. Of the hydroxys, I really prefer lactic acid, glycolic acid. Apparently, our skin does not have receptor sites for glycolic acid, so it actually can generate free radicals, which is kind of the thing we're trying to eradicate with antioxidant treatments. Alpha hydroxys are one of the few products that, without chemical enhancements, can reach the dermis of the skin. And long-term health lies in the dermis and the hypodermis. A couple other kinds of hydroxys are salicylic acid. That's a beta hydroxy. You've probably heard of that if you have children with acne. It's used more for oily conditions, clogged pores. There's also malic acid from apples and mandelic acid from almonds, not as common but equally good. Vitamin C is a great exfoliant and mask treatment. It's a supreme antioxidant. It's a cell regenerator, and we need that as we age. It's also a very good skin lightener, and a lot of us end up with uneven skin tone and liver spots. Oh, so unfair. Water-soluble ascorbic acid, that's one of the best treatments you can do on your face and super inexpensive. I like to alternate alpha hydroxys, such as lactic acid, with vitamin C. So one night I'll do a vitamin C treatment, and the next night I'll do lactic acid. And if I'm really not feeling happy about the condition of my skin, I'll do that every night for a while. And I certainly recommend that. I wouldn't definitely not do it more than once a day. Once I put my active on my face, then I will just take a warm washcloth and drape it over my face. I like to do this when I'm in the bath. But this is part of encouraging the absorption of the active ingredients, and then the actual occlusion, as it's called, which is forcing things to stay going inward instead of evaporating outward. To take the mask off, you can use a washcloth as long as you're not pulling on your face. If you have a tendency to do that, then rinse your face with tepid water and then use a warm washcloth just to blot the face dry and make sure that you have all of your product off. Next, I like to put on a Nutritive calming mask. I like to use honey and olive oil mixed together with some essential oils. It's very soothing, it's also antibacterial, and it's a humectant, so it plumps your face up. And so the external layer of the skin looks great, and the internal layer is being calmed because we just did an exfoliation treatment which can rough up your face a little bit. That's part of what exfoliation does. And sometimes redness, if you didn't apply it evenly, you might even have a little patch or a breakout, which is a total bummer. That's what you gotta do for beauty, sister. I leave my second mask on as long as I can, 15 to 20 minutes for your active mask. It does take time for product to be absorbed into our skin because our skin is the barrier. It's not going to just let everything in. It takes a little bit of time, and that's called the level of transdermal absorption. Some people feel like they need a clay mask which will remove impurities. As Razul from Morocco is highly nourishing, it's got a lot of minerals in it, so it's not necessarily going to strip your face, but it will tighten it a little bit, which of course at a certain age we start to care about too. I leave the nourishing mask on for 10 to 20 minutes, and then same thing, wash it off with tepid water or gently blot it off with a warm washcloth. I follow that immediately with hydrosol and then a serum. The skin is really open and receptive once you've applied a mask. This is the perfect time to give it a treatment that's going to have long-term benefits. If you've watched my video about how to apply a serum, you know that if you alternate a hydrosol or filtered water with serum, it's going to go a lot further, and you're actually nourishing your face more because the skin needs oil and water. If you put your serum on and 30 seconds later it's like bing, dry, gone, you probably need to put more on. At that point I'll spritz a little more hydrosol. You've seen me do this on other videos 1,000 times. And then I'll spritz a little on my hand, a couple of drops of serum, rub together fast so you have a really emulsified oil-water mixture, and then pat it on your face and all the way down the neck and up the midline, the eyes, all the places that you might miss. If after 10 minutes you have a greasy layer on your skin, you know you've probably wasted some serum, you've applied too much. Oh well, live and learn. You won't do it again. It's too expensive. It's okay if you have a little bit extra on. For most of us, it's going to be absorbed and feel great. When you're applying the water-free moisturizer, it's the same deal. You want to add your own water moments before application, preferably a hydrosol, just because the pH on that is perfect. And if you need more, do another layer of it. If after 10 minutes you can scrape it off with your finger, then you've applied a little too much. Middle path, people, middle path. At this point, your skin is probably looking dewy and moisturized and happy and 10 years younger, right? And so you're probably feeling pretty good, which means it's time to get into bed and snuggle up with your favorite honey or your favorite book and have a really good night's sleep. Rest well. See you next time.